YouTube land, what's up? It's your girl McCar from Cougar's Closet. So listen, y'all. I done talked about this and I done did a couple of videos on this, but I ain't never like really researched this. I just, went off the dome, intuition off the muscle about this, right? And I've done videos about this, like why do it seem like marriages are only lasting 5 years or 7 years at the max or something? Like people not taking their vows seriously. Like, do y'all think couples should be able to do this? They marry for better or worse, and then after the 5 to 7 year mark, then they divorce. I don't know. I think if it's like nitpicking and that type of deal, they should be forced to stay with each other and work it out. Now, if it's something serious about somebody getting beat or somebody getting verbally abused or something like that, something that'll really deteriorate somebody's health, then yeah, like there's ground rules, with it taking a trial for a divorce. But if it's just quarreling amongst each other or something, like can't seem to see each other differences, I think the courthouses should stop allowing these divorces. Okay, so we're in the lab. Why are marriage vows not taken seriously? Additionally, external factors such as stress, financial pressure, and communication issues can also impact how seriously individuals take their marriage vows. It's important to note that the reasons can vary greatly from person to person. How serious are wedding vows? Wedding vows 101. You're basically declaring your lifelong commitment to your spouse, witnessed by your loved ones. Here are some examples. Vows can be romantic and emotional, of course, but can also be humorous. It all depends on your style and structure of your ceremony as determined by your officiant. Why should marriage vows be taken seriously? Marriage is the beginning of the family, and it is lifelong commitment. It also provides an opportunity to grow in selflessness as you serve your wife and children. Marriage is more than a physical union. It is also a spiritual and emotional union. Why did they take obey out of the marriage vows? Because that husband, he was going crazy with that obey line. He had that fist balled up, giving you them blumps to the head if you wasn't obeying. The removal of the word obey from marriage vows in the West reflects changes in society attitudes towards gender equality and the evolving role of the woman in a relationship. The traditional vow for wives to obey their husbands was seen as reflective of patriarchal or something, an unpowered dynamic within marriage. Does the Bible say anything about wedding vows? While the Bible includes verses on love, marriage, and wedding, there aren't any specific marriage vows mentioned. You can, however, use the Bible's inspirational verses in your marriage vows, include them as ceremony weddings, or use a short verse of a theme in your invitations and programs. But it says right here 27 Bible verses for vows and reading. Can you get married without saying vows? Yes, wedding vows and a wedding ceremony are absolutely optional, and they do not make you married. Legally, the only thing that matters is signatures on marriage certificates. What breaks marriage vows? Breaking marriage vows can encompass a variety of actions that go against promises made during the wedding ceremony. Common examples include infidelity, dishonesty, abuse, physical, emotional, or verbal neglect, and financial betrayal. And a lot of times people don't know, like when they withhold sex from their spouse or from their partner, or from their husband or their wife, that's abuse. You know what I'm saying? Because you need the touch, from your mate. You need those affections, and you have, things that need to be taken care of, and you need to feel cared about. And when a mate neglects to give their partner or make love to their partner, or ignore their partner, or don't touch their partner, or don't talk to them, that's a sign of abuse. I don't know if anybody knew that or not, but withholding love, and lust or whatever, and passion and everything from your mate, that is definitely a sign of abuse. Our marriage vows made to God. Each of us defines the meaning of our own marriage vows and culture content. In Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, marriage vows are made before God and a promise to God. Does adultery end a marriage? Not everyone who has experienced infidelity elect the end to their marriage, though. The fact many are able to heal and remain together. For those who cannot and begin the divorce proceedings, the level of their spouse's infidelity can absolutely influence the divorce. Yeah, because some stuff, like some people, dirty little secrets, can blow somebody's mind, send people to the nut house, literally send people to their deaths, and I know everybody got secrets, or, whatever, and then you entertain them, and then you get busted by your mate. It's something like totally they can't handle, even though their dirty secret is worse than yours. Oh. Okay, let me get back on here. Why is marriages only lasting 5 years? Infidelity, finances, commitment, communication problems, abuse, marrying too young. Yeah, I know too. People always, their story is they married straight out of high school. They've been together ever since they was 21 and 35, and they ain't never experienced another man before. They ain't never experienced another woman before. They want to try something new. Okay, get out here. You gonna try something new, alright. It's a lot of new shit to try out here. Religious differences, domestic violence, that's a big one. Inadequate preparation for marriage. I've known couples, a few of them, that went through the whole thing where they had to take all of these, courses, to make sure they was ready to get married. Like they had to go through all these stages. They did it the right way, because they said like time doesn't have a limit on their love or whatever. Poor dealing with relatives, constant arguing and conflict. What percentage of marriage lasts over 5 years? Dang, 20% of marriages end in the first 5 years. 32 end in the first 10 years. 48% of spouses who marry before the age of 18 are likely to divorce in 10 years. Why is 5 years or the 5th year of marriage the hardest? However, just 2 years later, couples reported the 5th as the most difficult to get through due to factors such as tiredness and exhausted, amid increasing workloads. Those surveyed voted 7 years to be the wall, which, if scaled successfully, paves way for a long lasting and happy relationship. What is the happiest year of marriage? It is also common that the 3rd year of family life cycle decides to have a baby. Consequently, their relationship becomes stronger. It's the 3rd year of marriage that is believed to be the happiest. What are the golden years? 17 hours. Thank you. It's 17 hours. What are the golden years of marriage? The 50th wedding anniversary, aka golden anniversary, is truly a special occasion for any married couple. But ain't nobody making it to no 50 years. The people that's already been together before you got here. The 8 top reasons for divorce, why marriage failed after 5 years. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes crushing realization that sheesh, happily ever after takes a lot of work. A few years into a marriage, many couples find their relationships faltering. Nearly 20% of married couples divorce within the first 5 years, but this is not to say that the mutual affection doesn't exist between couples who find themselves in a failed marriage. The cause of divorce are varied and complex, but top reasons for divorces tending to fail all across common themes. Undiscussed debt. Yep. Finances in general can be a source of contention in a marriage, whether it's in the first 5 years or the next 20. However, student loans, something many couples are saddened with and saddled with, can prove to be the largest burden in marriage's early stages. At the beginning of romance, student loan debt obligations don't come up, says Devon Ruslavsky, a divorce and family lawyer from Roanoke, Virginia. However, once the honeymoon phase is over, the reality that loans have to be paid back and that it can take time for an educational investment to pay off comes to the forefront. When a couple starts talking about buying a house or having children, student loans debts can cause the feeling of resentment and overwhelm. I know my stepfather married my mother because he was behind on his taxes, and he adopted us, and we didn't never see the money. Like, we saw the money when they first got married, but then like 2 or 3 years later we stopped getting Christmas, we stopped getting clothes, we stopped damn near getting everything, and the money started going around the corner to her. My mother went down there to the tax place and asked why did they take her money. That was his debt, and the tax people told her that that was now her debt. She took on his debt when she married him. So you have to be careful, with that. 2, believing that marriage is a cure-all. Often people make the leap into marriage without giving a great deal of thought about the person they'll be living with for the rest of their lives. Deciding who to marry is the most important decision most people will make in their life, says lawyer Paul Mississouvi. Yet many people do less due diligence than a gas station hiring a part-time janitor. Willful blindness does not end evil. Then there's the very common idea that marriage will fix everything, and unexamined in this fantasy is a top reason for divorce. One of the biggest misconceptions I see is people believing that marriage is some sort of magic pill, says Libby James, an attorney in Charlotte. That once they are married, the annoying habits of their partner just magically goes away. The great example is someone who is marrying a wild party animal. The tendency and compulsion to go out and get blasted doesn't go away with donning of a band of metal. It's still there. If something annoys you before your marriage, be not deceived. It will still be there after marriage. To prevent their marriage from failing, couples have to work at it like anything else. 3, not speaking up. Marriage and life can be hard, and if one person or the other feels as though they're taking on too much of burden, that can lead to discord. This is double when that person feels the need to keep their burdens quiet. More often than not, when the other party hears about how the burdened party feels, the response is, "Why didn't you tell me?" or I would have helped had I known, says James. So speak up. If you feel like you're drowning, say something. Let your partner know. Prevent divorce has a lot to do with dealing with the little things when they happen. 4. Troubles with in-laws. Overbearing in-laws are something of a marital cliche, but if a partner isn't prepared for this type of relationship their spouse wants them to have with his or her parents, or the kind of relationship his or her parents want them to have with them, they could be in for a rude awakening once the reality of the marriage sets in. This is a top reason for divorce. When you're dating, you're kind of treading lightly. You're to some degree walking on eggshells, especially family, says Doreen Olson, a family lawyer and attorney. So you don't really state your opinion or get involved in things like that. But when it's happening to you every day in your new married life, I've seen a lot of friction. 5. Religious differences. When couples are dating, religion isn't always brought up or talked about. Holidays are often spent apart, and family traditions don't play as much as a role in the couple's daily lives. However, once things become serious, religion and tradition tend to become more important, and if both couples aren't on the same page, trouble can arise. I've seen a lot of young couples where religion has become a significant issue in their marital relationship, says Olson. Many top reasons for divorce boil down to lack of communication, and it is particularly a big one. I've seen where some couples, one believes in God and the other one doesn't, and the other one wants to afflict their belief off on them, and they get mad or get into a battle because they want them to see things their way. They feel like their partner should see things their way. 6. Not staying connected. Life can get in the way of a marriage very easily, and everything from work to kids to outside commitments can lead to very quick disconnect in married couples, especially in the early years when the frivolity or whatever of courtship gives way to reality of day-to-day living. The couple cannot morph from a marital relationship to ships passing in the night without warning, just in an effort to keep up with the family schedule, says James. This is one of the top reasons for divorce. It is this drifting apart that I can see most often in couples. Too often, marriages fail not because one explosive event, but a slow disillusion that happens when couples aren't intentionally about connecting with one another. 7. Differing life plans and divorce. Just like anything else in life, if you want to keep your marriage from falling or failing, you better have a plan, and it better be one that you both agree on. Widely different plans for the new family do not end well. Cautious. Mistiavio, he recommends that before marrying, couples should come to agreement on important things like how many children they will have, finances, religion, education, and of course, how much contact they'll have with their in-laws. 8. Disputes over family responsibilities. I see this a lot. The men think that the women should go to work, come home, clean the house, cook a meal, run their bath water, get their lunch together, get their work clothes together, get her work clothes together, get the kids together. Like he thinks he doesn't have any responsibility. And some women is wait a minute, I'm not doing all of that to keep a man. Like, this is joint responsibility. We both take care of chores, which I think, yeah, you can't put somebody working an 8-hour shift. They tired too. They damn feet hurting too. And you want them to come home and just have at it. Dispute over family responsibilities. Disagreements are part of any relationship, but choosing how to raise a family and run a household can reveal contradictory non-negotiables. Family's responsibilities can include things like who pays which bills or day-to-day care tasks for the kids. For example, if a parent feels like children should have chores and set bedtime while another parent doesn't, it can cause a real strain in the relationship. If a couple who doesn't agree on particular parenting style or how to manage their children and home care responsibilities may find themselves feeling uncomfortably incompatible. A spouse who believes in more traditional roles may butt heads with a spouse who wants everything to be more even. These aspects of everyday life are fundamental to family dynamics, so sharp differences can end in a divorce. There we have it. So that was a closer look at um why all these marriages are falling and failing after the 5 year mark. All right, y'all. Cougar's Closet.